Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to do a walkthrough of the tutorial and talk about just what the basics are in making a website on SiteLeaves.com. So a leaf is a single page website that anybody can view in the world when you give them the URL to your leaf. So let's go ahead and click here to begin the tutorial. And it says, welcome to the leaf creation page. Click OK to continue. Okay. This is where you create leaves using your account. You will see that there are none because you need to create one. So click Create New Leaf below. So we're going to do that. And now what you see is you see a little dialog. And it says enter a title to be displayed at the top of your leaf as well as a valid URL extension. So the title and the URL. The title is text that is displayed at the top of your leaf. So I'm just going to go ahead and type demo site. And this is going to be information that is just just for your users to see when your users look at your site. It's just going to be the text displayed at the top, right? Nothing to do with an address, nothing to do with anything like that. You don't have to put a title if you don't want to. Now, a URL, you absolutely must have a URL in order to be able to create a site. So I'm going to go ahead and type demo. URLs need three things. URLs need to be unique. URLs can't have any characters, special characters or anything like that, like exclamation marks. And URLs can't have any spaces. So just make sure that you follow all those three rules, and you can pretty much put whatever you want for a URL. And then the address of your site is going to be http://www.siteleaves.com/ whatever you put here. All right. So usually what you want to do is have a URL that has something to do with what your site's about. So let's go ahead and create our leaf. And it says, well done, you've made a leaf. Now click edit to start adding content. Okay, so we see here that in our display sites, we see that there is a demo site that has been created, but there is no content in that demo site, right? So let's go ahead and edit this and start creating our content. You'll notice that there's a leaf title, there's total views, and the total amount of views are 0 right now because no one's seen our site yet. So let's go ahead and edit our site. And it says, this is the site editor. Click the flashing OK button to continue. It's currently empty as no content has been created yet. Content is created by filling out forms and adding components. Okay, what are components? Click the button highlighted below to add a paragraph box. Now, a paragraph box is a component. And what happens with components is when you add them, they get created at the bottom of your site. So right now, because we only have a title, the bottom of our site really is just below the title. So I'm going to go ahead and create a component. Now, what a component is it's an arrangement of either text or images that that's arranged in a really specific way depending on what that component is. So for a paragraph box, that component is text. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what I'm talking about before I start getting too abstract. So a paragraph box has some content in it, and it has an optional title. I'm actually going to choose to add an optional title. I'm going to call this My Story. And then what you can do is you can just put some text in to display on your site. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, I woke up and wow. All right, cool story, something like that. And then once you have your text, all you have to do is click Add Paragraph Box, and then that will be added to your site. And so in a live site, so it says, nicely done, you've created your first site component. In a live site, your content saves as you go, which means that you don't have to click Save. You can just add components and edit components, and then when you go to that URL, that live URL, you will see the changes made instantly. So very organic process. So I'll click OK. Create site components in order to build your site page. You now have access to other site components. Try them out. The tutorial ends when you leave this page. All right, let's click OK. And then consider registering an account in the nav bar at the top if you want to build a site page. You can share with others and have access to more features. So really important point there. The amount of features that are available in this tutorial are not the same as the amount of features that are available when you register that account and you're able to do more. But the reason why the tutorial is just sort of basic features is just to give you the basic concept of what's going on with creating a site on SiteLeaves.com. All right, so let's go ahead and click OK there. That was a lot. And let's just go through a little bit more about what adding these components are and then what that does to our site. I'm going to go ahead and add another paragraph box. And then let's say I don't want to add a title. Let's just say I just want to add some text. So I'm going to go ahead and say I came home and went to sleep. So I'm continuing my story for some reason. And so I add that paragraph box. And again, that's going to be updated to the live site. I don't have to click save or anything like that. Anytime I make a change, it's automatically going to be updated. Let's create different kinds of components, right? So I think hopefully you understand what a paragraph box does, how it affects the way a site looks, what you can do with it. I'm going to go ahead and create a 2-column box. And so you've got a lot of options here. So what a 2-column box is, it's essentially text in 2 columns. That's all it is. You have an optional title and you have 2 optional headings. I'm going to go ahead and fill out all of this. So for an optional title, I could say to be or not to be, to weigh 2 options, right? To be or not to be. And then for column 1, I'll say this is like the to be column. And then this is going to be like the not to be column. And then sort of reasoning for to be, I guess we could say I think, therefore I am. And then reasoning for not to be, fate determines what we do. There we go. All right, so once we've filled out all that information, we can go ahead and add a 2-column box. And so then you see that the text is displayed in 2 columns, right? And so, if you fill these columns with more text, then obviously there will be more text, right? But this is just sort of the basics to get you guys started. So then if I want to create an image, I just go ahead all the way to the left here, and I'll go ahead and click Create New Image. And I can add a title, and then I can add an image. Well, let's go ahead and add an image. So an image needs to be a PNG or a JPEG file that's under 2 megabytes. So I'm going to go ahead and browse. And I'm going to go ahead and add one of these spiders. Now, this was a JPEG. And I browsed from my computer, from my local machine, right? So when you add images, you need to have images on your local machine that you can actually upload, and then you browse for them in your local machine. But once you have an image uploaded, then you'd add an optional title. You say, I like spiders. And then you can add that image, and then it's on your site. So that's the basics of creating a website on SiteLeaves.com. You'll notice it's very fast. And what you'll notice if you register an account and use all the features, you'll notice that everything you do is reversible. So you can feel very, very confident that to not sort of be afraid to do things, because everything you do can be changed and modified. So I highly recommend, if you're interested in this concept, if you think you might find this tool useful to you, go ahead and create an account and start playing around with the features and have fun and start creating. If you have any questions specifically for us, you can click the About section here, and you can go ahead and you can fill out our contact form. Take care and get to it.